So one of our cameras died, so we're like this now. We can make it work.
Oh, look at us.
Also, like, no.
Oh, there's a cat there. He's going to jump.
Hey, Dan. Well, let's officially
Cheers.
do this. Cheers.
Cheers.
It doesn't look very pretty anymore.
Ting.
But this is our first video recording.
I was trying to drink.
I'm kind of nervous because I'm like, I can't check myself. I don't have a mirror right here. That's what we need to get down here. We need to get a mirror or something so we can like check ourselves, make sure we don't have anything in our teeth, make sure everything's, because now like whatever we say, people can watch us the entire time.
I know people are gonna see us in our true
form,
trash people form. Because earlier I was like, Allison, for our first episode that's being recorded and people can see, I was like, how are you dressing?
I know. I'm like, first of all, I got shorts on under here. It's really cold down here. Like I'm contemplating bringing it all the way up, but we'll see how the day goes. But anyways, this is Conspiracy Happy Hour.
Woo!
Yay. I'm Allie. It's Dan, obviously, in case you didn't realize. But I don't know. We'll see what happens.
It's weird. We'll get used to it.
I mean, like I said, worst comes to worst, we just have an audio recording. And can you see him in there?
I don't know.
Can you see him in there? Okay. We have our audio guy back, or video guy back here,
sound guy.
making sure we look good. Just the video guy. Our video guy, our editor, my boyfriend, however you
Excuse me. I'm the editor.
Of this one. One of the editors of Gecko's Media. Okay.
Just kidding. He's senior. He does them all.
He does. But we'll see how it goes.
We
might be like, okay, so you might see us like pointing like this certain times, and our goal is to put photos there if we don't fuck it up. Otherwise you're gonna look like Vanna White pointing to a wall over here.
We have lots of ideas. We'll see if they actually
we'll see if
come
we can
out.
actually follow through with any of them.
We'll actually see if I know how to do that. is the real
we have big ambitions and goals. Well,
yes.
So our first little thing.
Well, Allison.
Oh, do you have stuff to say?
I do.
Okay, go ahead.
How was your day?
It wasn't too bad. Hectic. I've done 3 sittings already. In case we didn't mention it before, we're both Rover sitters. We're pet sitters on Rover. So I had 3 visits today, all the same dog, and met this dog on Monday.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
For one day.
Well, they're gone for 3 days, so they're dogs. They need to go out to the bathroom and stuff. But I met this dog on Monday, and like I wasn't getting a good feeling because the owner's like, yeah, he's like really anxious and this and that. And I'm like, okay, we'll see what happens. Because I walk in the house, the dog's like constantly barking at me for a good 5-10 minutes, and he's been great. Like I guess I don't know. He's probably more anxious when the owners are there and stuff like that. But I just grab a ball and shove it in his mouth as soon as I get there.
Shut up.
She literally left like 3 cans of tennis balls outside. So like when I open the door, I just give the dog. I don't even give him to him anymore though. He's pretty good. So
that's good.
But definitely keeps me busy. I think I've got 3, 4, 5 visits tomorrow.
That's so many.
I know. I really overdo it.
I know.
But
you exhaust me.
I know. I just say yes to everybody. And I don't keep my own sanity in mind.
Yeah.
So
I like to say I'm semi-retired.
Yeah, you don't do it too much anymore.
No, I don't really need to do it as much as I used to, but I still do like my customers, my regulars.
Yeah.
And if it's if it's something if it's close or if it's easy, I'll do it. But like I'm taking care of 2 cats right now. So
I need a new car. So everything that I'm making for Rover goes into my savings for a new car because it's like 12 years old at this point. So
it's time.
Yeah. But I don't know.
That's cool.
Yeah, busy.
You saw Dear Evan Hansen.
It was so good. Oh my God. Yes. So Friday night I went to go see Dear Evan Hansen in Philadelphia. And the cast was great.
I was listening to the soundtrack today.
Oh my God, I love that musical so much. If you've never seen it, go see it. Highly recommend it.
I only saw the movie, which was really good.
Yes, the movie just came out last year.
I think so.
year before, something like that. That was so good.
I don't know. Last couple years are a blur. It came out within the last 2 years.
And then Saturday, we were both at the same party.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the, I guess his family friend / coworker, he's both, but he just had a birthday party, 70s theme.
Mm-hmm. It was fun.
It was fun. I really missed my decade because I had so much fun dressing up, like the vest and the headband and everything. I want.
You're born in the wrong decade.
I want to do that all the time.
I say that too,
but
I was born a little further back, not the 70s.
Oh, I forgot to tell you too. So, Hocus Pocus comes out on September 30th. Hocus Pocus 2.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not doing anything. So we're gonna have a release party at our house.
Oh, your sister's not having her birthday?
She's not celebrating that night. So we're gonna do some sort of like viewing party outside, projector, like some witch's brew punch style bonfire. I'm excited.
Here?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So we'll
put it in my calendar.
Do it. Mark it now. I think I'm gonna create a Facebook event too.
Ooh.
So we're gonna
go old school.
I am. I love Facebook. What can I say?
Yes. And before I forget, September 3rd, we're doing my birthday at my sister's house.
Got it.
Write it down.
Marking it now.
/ Labor Day picnic, but
I mean, wait, when is that 3rd? Is 3rd a Monday?
No, it'd be a Saturday. It's a Saturday.
Okay. Yeah, it should be good.
Because I think I think Labor Day is the 5th, which is a Monday. This is very entertaining. I know.
We're like planning out our lives and stuff. And
I have
like,
to.
Come on, get to the point.
If it's not on my calendar,
if
it's not on my calendar, I'll forget.
Yeah, I got so much stuff to do all the time. But well, let's get started.
All right.
Because I know we have like long top. Well, I got a long topic, so
mine's interesting, and but it's kind of short.
You know what I just realized? When we do rock paper scissors shoot, they'll be able to see us.
Oh God, people can see.
Oh my God, I don't have to narrate the whole thing.
People will see me lose.
But
Gray's gonna play in my spot.
He's always gonna do rock or paper.
Or paper. I think paper.
Yeah. So let's do our.
Wait.
Oh, okay.
Wait.
What?
I get to go first this episode.
Why?
Because I won last time, but
yeah, and you chose to go second.
Yes, I said I reserved my right to go first.
All right, I'll let you go first.
Because I had a fun quiz.
Fine. You can go first.
Thank you.
I mean, I gotta take pity on you a little bit.
You do. I need it.
We did that one. Ooh.
Oh yeah, hit us. So
let's see.
We had a long discussion before we started recording because we couldn't remember the Mandela effect we did last time.
There goes the dog. I don't even know if you can see the animals running in and out of frame, but there goes the dog. And he's back.
There'll be a dog running back and forth, but Gray. Now he's seeing demons. Now he's
But
he's gone.
Yes,
hit us with that fact.
Remember, but I think we skipped over the Oscar Mayer, and I think that was the reasoning. I accidentally skipped that one like altogether. Anyways, this one is. We'll put it here. Dan.
Here.
Put it there.
Remember to do that, Dan.
if we can figure it out. This is Fruit Loops. Dan, how do you spell the fruit part of Fruit Loops?
Is it not spelled like fruit?
I don't know. How is it spelled? Actually,
I'm gonna say 2 O's. I really don't. Now I'm like doubting my whole existence. Is it FROOT? Loops.
Hold on. Now I'm trying to read this thing so it's not clear on which one is the actual. Kellogg has been spelling fruit like that for years, and we've only noticed now. I think they're not very clear with this one at all. So I'm going to say it's what they mean is it's spelled FROOT loops.
Mm-hmm.
So the picture on the right.
Okay.
Of this, if we can do this, and it has 2 like Fruit Loops as the O's instead of FRUIT.
That's actually what I was picturing when
But I've always thought it was like fruit FRUIT, and then loops. Yeah. So Fruit Loops I thought it was FRUIT, and then I just thought the loops LOOPS. I thought they were the Fruit Loops.
I imagine 2 loops like.
But there's 2 sets of the.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know.
Oh my God, I knew one.
Yeah, I think you're right. All it literally says is Kellogg's has been spelling Fruit Loops like that for years, and we only noticed now. Wowza. I was like what? You have two different spellings on here. Spelled like what?
Some of these
I don't
are
know.
a stretch.
Yeah, I mean, I could completely be wrong with that interpretation. It could be just spelled Fruit. So
I
I don't
think
know.
we
Look it up.
should not look it up any further and just say I was right.
Done.
Done.
I don't have time for that shit.
Done. We got places to go.
Okay. Dan, I'm letting you go first.
Thank you.
Ever.
You're not letting me. I won
You
last
chose
time.
to go last time.
Yes,
but
because I had a fun quiz.
Can we do it anyway?
Yes.
Okay. 2 out of 3?
Yeah.
Okay. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Paper. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Oh. Okay. Now it's the mind games.
What was that?
I don't know.
You can't change it after the fact.
Yeah, I changed it to I lost. Because it was rock at first.
It was rock. You're like, I'm just going to shoot out scissors because.
Just scissors.
It's okay. All right. Go ahead.
Okay. So. Are we okay?
It's okay. It is what it is. I look around and move my head, so I can't keep my head in one spot. It is what it is.
Let me get you a one of those like the crazy suits where you lock you in.
Thank you.
Woo.
Yeah, like one of those straight jackets.
Thank you, straight jacket.
Is it stray or straight?
Straight.
That's what I thought. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought I heard you say stray.
I might have.
I'm really bad at like listening to like the analogy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
For years I thought it was play it by year.
Oh,
I found out
not.
I found out like not that long ago is play it by ear.
Mm-hmm.
And there was another one I did yesterday. And
he's
nip
it in the bud.
Is it bud or butt?
Bud.
There's another one. I thought it was nip in the butt.
That's a popular one because it's like bud, like a flower bud, not.
I can't remember.
Butt.
There was one that we were just talking. He's like, "Did you really just say that?" And I was like, "What? What did I say?
What did I say?" Okay.
All right, let me hear your conspiracy, Bill.
So it's not really. It is. There's like a slight conspiracy. It's kind of more just like a fun, local, not local to us, but like local to New Jersey.
Oh, it's a New Jersey.
It's a New Jersey one, yes.
Okay, unknown.
More like folk story from the Pine Barrens.
Okay.
That's not the Jersey Devil.
Okay.
But
I'd like to hear this.
So I was originally looking around because I wasn't sure what I was going to do this episode,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, oh, I did like a cult last time, and I forget the one I did before. So I was like,
you tend to switch it up quite often.
I try to variety. So I was like, let me do some Googling. So I was Googling around. I was like, oh, a fun abandoned town. That's cool. Let me read about this. And then there was actually a conspiracy component to it.
There's an abandoned town in the Pine Barrens.
Yes.
Let me hear this.
So I'm going to tell you about the abandoned town in the Pine Barrens, New Jersey called Ong's Hat.
O-N-G?
Yes.
Ong's?
Apostrophe S hat.
Okay.
Gray's really waiting
I'm
for
intrigued.
this.
I think the dog's intrigued too. He looks very
He loves abandoned towns.
Yeah.
So Ong's Hat is an abandoned ghost town in New Jersey. And it is actually one of the he just moved the screen with his paw. It is actually one of the internet's earliest conspiracy theories. Like it dates back to the beginning of forums and all that kind of fun
Jersey
stuff.
conspiracy theory times.
The internet in general.
Okay.
And the conspiracy theory evolves around people that populated this town practice interdimensional travel.
So like time traveling.
Yeah. Well, interdimensional, not time travel.
Between different dimensions.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So, if one takes the turnpike, the popular road, to exit 4, follows it down Route 70, I'm going to tell you all these streets that no one's going to know. They will come to Route 72 at 4 Mile Circle. You take a left there, and you've hit a place called Ong's Hat.
Can we travel here soon?
Mm-hmm.
I just want to check it out.
It's not far.
We'll take pictures.
Yeah, it's actually in Burlington County, so it's not far.
Oh my God, yeah, it's really close.
And a trail that some say leads to a mysterious portal to another dimension. where I'm probably going to cover a lot of New Jersey stuff because I think it's so interesting, and a lot of the Pine Barrens is
The weird
usually
New Jersey books, or like I
yes.
think they have weird PA too or
Yes,
something.
well, one of my I didn't read my sources, but one of my sources is
Oh, there we
weirdnewjersey.com.
go.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'll read my sources at the end. But so Ong's Hat is an abandoned town in the Pine Barrens of New Jersey. The town dates back to the 17th and 18th centuries, but the population dwindled dramatically in the 20th century, ultimately making it a ghost town. Some people seem to think that the town became popular again a few decades later, but there's no real proof. Um, for
So does
those,
anybody live there at all then, or is
no,
it just okay?
now it's all ruin. It's all rubble and stuff.
Okay.
So for those of you who are not from New Jersey, like we are, um, the Pine Barrens is a region that covers a lot of South Jersey, except for like the area we live
It's
in.
like all wooded,
Yeah.
yeah, from west coast of New Jersey to east coast of New Jersey. It's
Mm-hmm.
woods in between.
Yep, it's a region that covers a majority of southern eastern side of New Jersey. It's a sprawling forest, which most likely still stands today because of the acidity of the soil, which made it unsuitable for crop growth. So it was never developed. So like that's hence
Okay.
why it's called barrens.
Pine Barrens,
Yeah.
yeah.
The Pine Barrens are known for many things, like how it produces some of the purest water in America, and of course, it houses the Jersey Devil, who will be covered in a future episode.
Yeah, I saw somebody that I want to see if we can get as a guest for that episode because
Mhm.
they know a lot about it.
The New Jersey Pine Barrens have a plethora of deserted villages, which is pretty cool.
I wouldn't imagine that.
Well, the Pine Barrens is a scary place, so I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. there's a lot
Most of them have been abandoned for decades, even centuries. One of the most infamous of these is Og's Hat, which is what I'm telling you about today,
Mhm.
in Burlington County. The true reason as to why anyone would name the village Ong's Hat may be shrouded in mystery, but the facts are not clear. A lot of it just revolves around folklore surrounding the town itself.
Okay.
According to the legend, the town is named for an actual hat. And in turn, that hat's owner, a man with the last name Ong,
Ogs.
Ong,
Ong.
Ong, ONG,
I'm not gonna say that right.
which
Ever.
which was actually a common surname in the colonial times. Um, he was a fixture at local dances where he was famous for being able to woo the ladies with his fancy dance moves and suave attire, and was mostly notable for his silk hat.
What is Ong's hat?
Ong's hat. Yep. A fun fact that Ong is an old time Pine Barrens name, and one of the earliest Pine Barren settlers was Jacob Ong. But we don't know if that's the same person. Because the Ong, the all the everything I was reading about the origin of Ong's hat, they said they don't know his first name. They knew his last name was Ong. um, so the story goes on about the origins of the town's name. It goes to say that a jealous lover stomped on his hat, and in frustration, Ong threw it in the air. The hat got stuck in a tree, where it remained for years. So Ong's hat became the local landmark. So you're like, once you reach the hat in the tree, you're in
That's
the town.
weird. Okay.
Um, and it was used to identify in the town that grew up around the hat. In some variations of the theory, Ong owned a tavern with the hat as a logo. So,
Okay.
there is a competing story about how Ong's hat got its start. In 1968, a member of the Ong family told the New York Times that his family had lived in Little Egg Harbor and transported the grain they grew to Burlington County, New Jersey. They built a hut at the midway point to rest during their journey, and Ong's hut eventually became Ong's hat.
Hold on a second. You said they're growing their grain in that area and then
Mhm.
I thought you said they couldn't grow anything in that area because it was Pine
They were
Barrens.
they were growing their grain in Little Egg Harbor
Oh,
and
okay.
transporting it, and then
Into the Pine Barrens.
yes, into Burlington County. So they built this hut
Okay.
to rest.
Okay.
But it was 1968, so I don't really believe this story. Why would they need to rest? Little Egg Harbor is not that far from Burlington County.
It's in Burlington County, isn't it?
I don't know, but it takes an hour to go from one side of New Jersey to the other. So
At
unless they were,
least, depending on, like, how far over you're
yeah, unless
going,
they
but
were
yeah.
walking there, maybe I don't know why they would need to rest.
Mm.
Um, but okay, so as the Pine Barrens themselves became less and less populated with the dying out of local industry, Ong's Hat had all but been forgotten. Today, Ong's Hat is home to no residents. Instead, there are piles of debris, overgrown building foundations, and other remnants of the bygone age. Ong's Hat might have been nothing more than a footnote in local history books were it not for a very weird development that some believe occurred there in the last quarter of the 20th century, the opening of a gateway to another dimension.
I wonder if we go there today, if we'll still see a hat, like, hanging in the tree.
I hope so.
I doubt it,
I
because
doubt
I
it
don't know
too.
how a hat can get stuck in a tree that well.
It's silk.
But
Wouldn't silk like decompose?
I would think the wind would just knock it out of the tree.
That's true. Yeah, it stayed up in that tree so long that they could build a
It
town
just got
around it.
knotted up in there.
Like,
Birds start building some nests up in that hat.
yes. Okay, the following more recent history of Ong's Hat and its mysterious interdimensional portal can be found in a book entitled Ong's Hat: The Beginning. The author of the book, Joseph Matheny, is coy as to whether he intended the work as fact or fiction. And there was a lot of things I was reading. A lot of people believe it was just fiction.
Different.
Yeah, it's not like
Yeah.
told accounts of this town.
Well, I feel like it's most conspiracies or stories anyway, because
Yeah.
everybody's gonna have their own rendition of it.
Exactly. He said the split between who believes the book is fiction versus nonfiction is pretty even. Some claim that the book is pure fantasy and has set up a hoax that many have come to accept as real. Me too. According to Methany's history, the Moorish Orthodox Church of America was founded in the 1950s by a group of white jazz musicians and poets who were formerly members of the Newark founded Moorish Science Temple. A lot of words I don't know. Besides
I'm trying
Newark.
to follow that.
Besides Newark, which is a city. I don't know what religion is practiced at the Moorish Science Temple, but
it sounds Jewish. Maybe because it's both got the ish.
maybe it's Moorish.
It's Morristown Jewish people.
Maybe.
Makes sense, right?
That's it.
Okay.
That's it. The members of this small sect travel the world, learning different philosophies and spiritual practices from all different masters of the Eastern world. I guess I just answered my question. One of these travelers was known as Wally Fard. When Fard returned from his travels abroad in 1978, he spent all of his savings on 200 acres in the New Jersey Pine Barrens. Along with a group of runaway boys from Paramus, the two...
You lost your friend.
I did. I lost my friend. I just realized that when I was copying pasting, I was like, just caught me off guard. This sentence. It says, along with a group of runaway boys from Paramus and two lesbian architects. Why do they have to be lesbians? I mean, there's nothing wrong with lesbian architects, but I feel like it's weird that they had to call that out. They had
to like call that out.
Yeah. He moved onto the property and formed a newer, more exclusive sect, the Moorish Moorish Science Ashram.
The Moorish Science what?
Ashram.
Ashram?
Ashram. ASHRAM. Ashram.
Is that like their place of religion?
I guess.
Okay. I asked too many questions.
I don't know. I'll Google what an ashram is later.
Okay.
Fard published a series of Xerox newsletters proclaiming his beliefs. Those on the fringe who had read his words began flocking to his new town that he bought. Among these refugees were two scientists who were looked down upon for their radical views, Frank and Althea Dobbs. The Dobbs twins, they were actually twins.
I feel like I've heard of them before.
I think I did too.
The Dobbs name, Althea Dobbs.
They were raised in Texas.
Okay.
And they were raised in Texas among a UFO worshiping cult founded by their father.
That might be why.
I think that is why too, because now that you said it, I was like, does
It
sound
sounds
really
really
familiar.
familiar, yeah.
Needless to say, they were used to life on the outskirts of the mainstream.
Mm.
When they arrived in the Pine Barrens, they set up a laboratory inside a ramshackle trailer. They began making discoveries that shook the small commune to its core. Tim should live out there. He always wants to build a commune.
Yeah, I don't know.
The Dobbs siblings had previously been working at Princeton, so reputable, where they submitted as their PhD thesis a series of equations that led to what they called cognitive chaos.
Isn't Princeton in New Jersey, though?
Yeah.
So they just had the cult thingy out in Texas, and they came
Well, they were born and raised in Texas, and I guess came to work in New
okay,
Jersey
after Princeton,
at
yeah.
Princeton, yeah. Well, actually, it was their PhD thesis, so they were in school. So they went to school in Princeton.
Okay.
And then they, you have to present your thesis and has all that fun stuff. They were dismissed from the university and found their way to the Pines. In the remote location, they were free to work further on their ideas, whether the academic establishment wanted them to or not. Their theories promoted the idea that people could tap into the unseen portion of their brains and do things such as stop their aging and purge disease from their systems. The ashram, pending actual definition, used their research to found the Institute of Chaos Studies. Sounds fun. I'll join.
I definitely could be part of that
I would
study.
join.
My life is chaos.
Progress occurred even quicker than the scientists involved could have predicted themselves. And, none of this is, take all this with a grain of salt.
Yeah, this is story.
This story, yeah. Within 3 years, they had stumbled upon an extraordinary, bizarre device that came to be known as the gate. This was one of the series of devices the scientists referred to as the egg. They hooked people up to computers and charted their brainwaves. By experimenting with sex, drugs, and other mind wave manipulators, the scientists learned how to control the chaos they found within their mind. It's very fun.
So I just picture those metal colanders. Like I pictured that on their heads, like in this room, like
with actual
studies,
whisks,
with electrodes and shit all over their body. Like that's just.
I agree.
Okay.
Like very makeshift.
Yeah.
The fourth version of the egg was tested on one of the Paramus runaways. When it was activated, he and the device itself disappeared. Moments later, it rematerialized. The boy claimed that he had traveled to the dimension next door to ours. This was the opening of the gate.
So they created the opening in the story. They created the opening to the gate themselves accidentally, but they did.
Yes. In the 1980s, a pamphlet was published saying Ong's Hat was home to a group of people that practice interdimensional travel. The pamphlet claimed that the group started with 2 scientists from Princeton University, moved into the abandoned town, and eventually made the egg. That's what they keep referring to it as.
Okay.
Which allowed people to travel to alternate universes. According to the pamphlet, the machine transported the entire group to a different dimension to escape police investigation. The members of the group had to leave their Pine Barrens compound due to a chemical spill from Fort Dix, which is a local fort in the area, that was leaking nuclear material waste.
I think it's like an army base, right?
Yep. Instead of fleeing outward, they fled interdimensionally. They used the gate to transport themselves and all of their possessions into an alternate dimension. In this dimension, they still live in Ong's Gate, but mankind did not exist.
This is giving me very serious Donald Trump time traveling vibes.
I just thought it was so interesting.
I mean, if people are traveling to other dimensions, why do I not know about this yet? Like,
I'm telling you about it right now.
well, yeah, but
listen to me.
I had like 31 years of life before this point, so.
Well, we tend to avoid the Pine Barrens.
It's true.
Because
there's a devil.
There's a devil there. There's pinies.
Okay, you're gonna have to elaborate on that one later.
You never heard someone be called a piney?
No, really.
Oh, I mean, it's not a nice thing.
Isn't that like a?
It's like a hick.
Yeah. Okay.
Fun fact, side story. When I went to school in Rutgers, which is close to Princeton, I was from South Jersey, of course, and everyone up there is from
Close to New York.
close to New York.
Yeah.
And they they were jokingly called me a piney. I said, "Excuse me." I'm like, I don't live in a forest. They're like, isn't all of South Jersey
No.
pine barrens? I said,
But you know
no.
what? If you don't live in this area, you don't know. And I don't like.
Well, most of the people that live in North Jersey think that South Jersey is just the beach, which I wish.
Or just farmland.
But it takes
We
me,
have literally everything down
but
here.
it literally takes me a full hour to get to the beach. Like,
Yeah.
I wish it was just the beach. But yeah, so I had to bring up a map of New Jersey and
Where
point
you
out
are.
where the pine barrens are. I was like, I live here next to, I'm literally considered a suburb of Philadelphia.
Mhm.
I don't live in a forest. And they're like, oh, you're right. I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
thanks for believing me.
I know. That's such a ham.
Okay. According to some, the experiments at Ong's Hat led to a violent and bloody confrontation. They claim that the government got wind of their experiments being conducted and stormed the compound here, killing 7 members of the group. Some say it was Delta Force who did the killing, while others blame operatives of the Russian or Danish militaries. I don't know why the Danish or the Russians are involved.
Yeah, I was just gonna say a little far from them.
I guess it was the sign of the time of this taking
Okay.
place. Skeptics of this far-fetched tale believe that Joseph Matheny's book, Ong's Hat, The Beginning, is nothing more than a work of pure fiction bolstered by an elaborate internet hoax. Others claim that Matheny has had to hint at the book being a hoax to preserve the efforts to tell the truth and to protect his own safety. Matheny first became involved in the Ong's Hat saga when he posted a book category he had found known as the, I'm going to butcher this, Incunabula catalog.
Better than I could have.
Yeah. On BBS and FTP systems around the internet at the turn of the 90s. Then he produced one of the Then he let me start over. Then he produced one of the essays reviewed in this catalog. From there, he claimed to have interviewed one of the physicists mentioned in these papers, as well as the original author of the book catalog he had posted. These 4 documents make up what are known as the, but I'm going to butcher it again, Incunablu.
I think you said it better the first
I did.
You said it better
I
the
did.
first time.
Incunabula papers.
Okay.
It is somewhat unclear.
How do you spell that? How's it spelled?
Incunabula.
Sounds right then.
Incunabula.
The I word.
Yes. It is somewhat unclear as to whether there were ever any documents of these alleged events other than the ones that Matheny found. I can do air quotes so people can see.
Oh my god, they can see our air quotes now.
Found
to narrate it.
And posted himself. So was Ong's Hat ever the home of a mysterious cult of science nerds? Or is this interdimensional gate merely one of the earliest known internet hoax?
Oh, here, ready? I'm going to throw a whole new conspiracy at you. What if we're the other dimension? And these people who found the other dimension are from the other dimension and they came here as their second dimension.
Maybe. We'll have them on the podcast. Come let us interview you.
Possibly.
Yep. So my sources, that was my story. My sources were from insider.com, the avclub.com, and of course, weirdnewjersey.com.
I need to check out weirdnewjersey.com because there's so much stuff that we can cover.
It's actually where I found a majority of the information because, like I was saying earlier, I found a little like blurb of Ong's Hat. I was like, oh, that's really interesting. Let me see.
Where did you hear about it?
I was just Googling around.
Oh, okay.
Because, like you like for all of you, there's all those weird books, like, and New Jersey is full of weird
I think
stories.
There's one for every state, right?
Usually.
Okay.
Yeah, and so I was just Googling around, and everything I could find was very like short articles. Like it was just kind of basically describing the story. And once I got to the Weird New Jersey write-up, I was like, oh, this is perfect. I can actually do this story now.
I think my favorite, like, New Jersey, well, you've only done really 2 New Jersey stories, I think. But I liked your Westfield Watcher one.
Mm-hmm.
That
one's like spooky.
Yeah. I told you, my head moves. I can't it's not gonna happen. It's not
So
gonna stay in one place.
that was my story.
Liked it.
Some
Interesting. See, now I want to go visit there because
some
like it's
inter
not that far away.
no, it's not. Some interdimensional time travel in the Pine Barrens. There's a lot of things happening in the Pine Barrens. It's a happening spot.
Yeah.
I wonder if
Yeah,
the
I'm
Jersey
very.
Devil time hops or dimension
Maybe that's
hops.
why we can never find him.
Maybe. Do you watch What We Do in the Shadows?
No, he does.
Well, it's kind of coincidental, but actually it's not coincidental because that's what gave me the idea. Because in the latest episode, so the show takes place in New York. They live in Staten Island,
Oh, okay.
and so they go on a hunting trip in the latest episode to their human neighbor's hunting lodge, and their lodge is in the Pine Barrens. And I was like, oh my god, this episode's gonna be great. I was like, if the Jersey Devil doesn't have a cameo in this episode, I'm gonna be really upset. So, not to spoil it, but at the very end, the Jersey Devil makes an appearance, and they end up fighting it. It's so funny, and the only way that they can calm him down and to soothe him is to play Bruce Springsteen.
Oh my God.
And it's like every person you ever see in a bar at 2 o'clock in the morning, they're playing the DJ's playing Bruce Springsteen, and everyone's like, ah! And that's
Or
what
Bon Jovi.
or Bon Jovi,
Yeah.
and and the Jersey Devil is just rocking out in the middle of the forest to Bruce Springsteen.
I'm very excited to cover the Jersey Devil one because there's a lot of theories and information that I actually believe. So I can't wait to go into that in more detail.
The whole Lee family, I think that's what they're called, is so interesting in general.
Yeah. I actually
So what'd you think? Did you like it?
I do, and now I'm really curious to go like the very least it's gonna be a ghost town that we're exploring, which I think would be really cool.
Yeah, from what I saw, it's just all rubble. Like I don't think there's any buildings still standing, but you can see the ruin.
I mean, that in itself is pretty cool. A lot of like stuff to wander around and do and stuff.
We'll have to do a field trip, and maybe we can record it for Patreon.
Oh, exclusive content. Speaking of Patreon,
yes,
we need to announce. I mean, at this point, it's going to be over.
It's going to be over.
We had such a great time with everybody.
Yes. Well, we can talk about it.
Yeah.
So we're recording this on a Wednesday. So tomorrow we're holding our first ever conspiracy happy hour. Happy hour.
Yeah. Happy hour after hours.
Yes. Where we're hosting a virtual happy hour with our Patreon subscribers and probably some invited guests. Just to kick it off, and it's literally going to be a trial run. Like we haven't done this. I mean, we all have hosted meetings before in our work, but this is going
to be different than because we want it to be fun. We don't want it to be strictly like conspiracy conversation.
Yeah.
I'm going to bring some games to play so we can drink and stuff. Now,
just like what you do at a normal happy hour.
We have a couple people who are already going to be joining. We have a couple people from Patreon who are already joining. So we're very excited to talk with everybody. And I think it's just going to be a good time.
I think so too. I'm excited.
Wait a minute. At this point, it's already happened. So we know we had a great time. It's been great. We love talking to everybody. Those games. Oh my God, girl, you were fucked up yesterday. Okay.
I know. We're definitely doing it again. Yeah, and I think right now our plan is to do it monthly.
Yeah, I think we're doing bi-monthly because in the other.
Oh, true.
Yeah, so we're doing a split between our conspiracy happy hour after hours, and then right now I don't think we have anybody signed up for a book club tier yet. We'll see how that one goes, but that will be every other the other month to fill it in. So
yeah, always keep an eye out on our social medias, and we're trying to pull it together.
You guys are jealous. You want to sign up for a Patreon so you can join.
I know we don't have anyone in the book club, but I kind of want to start it.
I do too.
Okay. So we'll talk about that.
Yeah,
talk about that offline.
Yeah, at the bar tonight.
Yeah. Because we can even do it and then tease it. Like, oh, this is what we're reading.
Yeah. I should probably go get that for the next episode. Be like, yeah. I'm gonna go over mine. Mine's pretty long.
Do it.
I am not going to cover everything, though. There are so many theories surrounding this. They all branch off onto their own theory. So I'm going to kind of give brief overviews. And then as we continue the podcast, we can kind of go into more in depth of each one. but this is a very long one.
Hold on.
Okay.
Thank you, too.
And we're back.
We had one of the cameras
Malfunction.
died.
Yeah. So Dan and I are
We're close.
super close now. Oh, my screen's upside down. But anyways,
I'm ready.
okay, so I got a very long one. I'm not going to cover everything, I don't think, because I just
Okay.
have a lot in here. So I can kind of touch around on different pieces of this. But I'll read my sources first, and then I'll go over the theory, which you'll probably guess it from my sources, but whatever. So I have, which I realize I use this source almost every conspiracy, which is history.co.uk. Then we have flydenver.com.
Ooh.
And then
I wonder where we're going.
Then we have denver.org. So my conspiracy, in case you haven't figured it out yet, is the conspiracy that the Denver airport is the portal to hell.
Woo.
So
most airports are, I feel.
Well, this airport in itself, I think, is extremely creepy. And like some of the artwork that they have displayed and things like that are just not what you want to see when you walk into a foreign country, foreign state, whatever the fact. Anyways, so let's begin. So I have a couple small little like interesting facts, but I'll go over those first. So let's just take into consideration that the size of the airport, it really does not need to be as big as it is. This airport is twice the size of Manhattan. So it's
the whole island?
Yes. Twice the size. One airport.
What? Exactly. Yeah, the peanut gallery was even shocked.
Like, wait, what? Yes. Yes. Also, too, if you look at an aerial.
That's so including runways?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, including the entire airport. Yes. Now, also, too, if you look at an aerial view of this airport, I'm going to say some stuff that I hope I don't get like backlash on later. But if you look at an aerial view.
We can't get canceled already.
Oh, I know. If you look at an aerial view, it looks like a Nazi symbol. It looks like a swastika, the way the runways are forming, everything like that. So that's another thing that people are like, well, it could look like anything. It's going to look like a, yes, it does. So I've seen it before. No, I haven't. I'm just kidding.
She's like, I'm the architect.
So then also too, the coordinates for this airport are the same coordinates as the blockbuster classic. What is my blockbuster classic? Oh, sorry. Steven Spielberg's Close Encounters of a Third Kind. When in that movie, the coordinates they give you are exactly 51 miles north of this airport. So people tend to think it also has to do with like aliens and things like that.
Oh, I was like, I'm confused.
Yeah. So because like I guess the movie is taking you to the same coordinates as this airport, which is Portal to Hell, which is also alien related. So yeah.
Very exciting.
Yes. Now,
do they have any alien sightings there?
Where's Area 51? That's not Texas, is it?
No.
Okay. I don't know them.
Nevada.
I mean, I'm sure they have alien sightings. They have them everywhere now.
That's true.
So,
it's not cool anymore to see an alien.
So this is my favorite portion of this conspiracy. But outside of this airport is a giant Mustang sculpture. Now, this is a 32-foot tall sculpture of a blue horse rearing on its hind legs above Pena Boulevard, Pena Boulevard. And it's titled Mustang. But most I can't even talk. Most Denver natives know this statue as Lucifer, which is Blue Lucifer.
Very original.
So he has glowing red eyes.
Lucifer.
Yeah. He has these glowing red eyes, which if you ask the person or if you ask the people at the airport, it is to kind of direct the planes, but it also looks like a devilish horse sculpture.
Does the horse actually direct any planes?
Not direct, but so you can see, like, you don't want to crash into this horse
going like this.
It's a 32-foot tall horse. You don't want the planes crashing.
Oh, are the eyes those blinking lights that are on top of tall buildings?
I think they're just like solid red glowing eyes, but so the planes don't fly into it. Anyways, And we'll put a picture of it right here.
Blucifer.
Just smacked you. But also too, it's horsehair. It doesn't really look like horsehair, but more so like Medusa's snakes.
Mm.
So
Mhm.
it's
Well, it's made of metal, you said.
mane, yes.
Uh-huh.
But its mane looks more like a bunch of snakes than it does actual flowing
I'm a fan of
hair.
Blucifer.
Until you let me fit, then you can tell me if you're a fan. So he was created by an artist, Luis Jimenez, in the mid 90s.
Craig's cousin.
Yeah. Shh, we're not naming
Oh.
people. um in the mid 1990s, and it was inspired by the bright colors and themes of famed Mexican muralists like Diego Rivera and Jose Oroz. A word. I'm sorry,
A last
Jose.
name.
I don't know. Orozco. Orzico.
Okay.
That's not right. But he grew up working with his father, who was a sign maker at a shop, and went on to be an artist for 30 plus years before he started making this large fiberglass sculpture. Unfortunately, this Mustang was his last piece of work. He
It killed him?
After working on this
Oh
piece
my
for
God.
nearly a decade.
I'm still on Team Blucifer.
After working on this piece for nearly a decade, Jimenez was killed in an accident in his New Mexico studio in June 2006.
20,000.
I'll lose my fucking mind tonight. When a piece of the sculpture fell and severed his artery in his leg.
Oh.
The piece was eventually completed by Jimenez's children and unveiled in February 2008. So between the tragic backstory of and menacing versage, Lucifer has been Lucifer's trying to kill me.
He's talking shit on Blucifer, that's why.
Lucifer has been targeted for myth makers since he was created. It says erected, but I don't like that word.
Well, you said it anyway.
I know.
See, that's what happens when you talk about Blucifer. It's coming for you.
Lucifer's kind of creepy, so we're gonna like leave Lucifer in the past.
Is he the guardian to hell, Blucifer?
Could be one of them. There's a few.
Oh.
No, there's a few. So actually, you saying that, I'm going to move down on my list to the gargoyles of the Denver International Airport.
Why does it have gargoyles?
So
actually, gargoyles are protectors from evil.
Yes. So actually,
because it's a portal to hell.
My first line I have the gargoyles are evil. The theory is that the gargoyles are evil. They point to indications of the New World Order. And in actuality, like you said, gargoyles are supposed to be protectors, which I also found interesting. So they're called the two sculptures together are called Notre Denver, as in like Notre Dame, but it's Notre Denver. Which are side by side gargoyles. They're cast in bronze, and they're perched out inside I guess like the baggage area where you pick up his suitcases. And then I found it very funny, but it looks like there's also a singing, dancing gargoyle that they have in the baggage area as well. And his name is Greg. So
not Lucifer.
No, he literally has it says, and Greg can be found near the baggage claim. Don't forget the talking gargoyle Greg, who can be found near baggage claim.
That's so funny.
So
I love when things have like basic names.
Greg
the gargoyle.
So before I finish that statement, I shouldn't have jumped all over the place. I'm all over. Anyways, so there's also apocalyptic artwork. So says while many of Denver's supposed secrets are encased in granite, very deep underground, there are others right out in the open for all to see. There's two pieces of artwork in particular that have drawn plenty of interest: a pair of 28-foot wide murals by artist Leo Tangrum. I really should stop putting names in my stories.
By Lou.
All seem to have extreme differences of images in the same mural. So, one of the murals, or one of the sections of this mural, it's called "Children of the World Dream of Peace." It shows scenes of war and death, anchored by a gas mask wearing soldiers welding swords and machine guns. And then while others depict happy children from around the globe dressed in colorful traditional clothing, layering down their weapons beneath the rainbow of peace. So
What?
within the same mural, you
So it's
have,
like left and right.
I have to look. And I think the way that they're describing it is just you have a scene here and you have a
Mhm.
scene here in the same mural, and one is showing like all these little cute kids wearing clothing from their own country, things like that. They're all putting down their guns and all of that stuff. And then the other side, you have complete opposite. You have men, soldiers making swords, making guns, wearing gas masks. So you kind of have the night and the day, and people are thinking that it's like, this is what we are now, this is what's coming, the end of the world. So
Not
so,
the peace side.
so then there is another mural that this artist created. It's called "In Peace and Harmony with Nature." This shows children mourning the death of 3 women and the extinction of numerous animals as the environment burns in the background, while all coming together to rehabilitate and celebrate nature. This is all one image. So you have the night and the day of this image as well.
Interesting.
Um, Pieces.
I'm just picturing like it's funny because when I walked in here, you guys were watching Parks and Recreation,
Yes.
and those murals. The mural you described reminds me of the murals that are in Pawnee, where it's like just massacres.
This is my first time seeing the show, so I don't know that much
Okay,
about it yet. So I'm still on like season 1, I think we are.
So you'll see the murals that they.
I can only imagine though, because it gives me like Schitt's Creek vibes.
Yeah, well, the murals they sound very similar.
Okay. Yeah, so we have night and day, which people um just have that like, this is where we are in the world, and this is showing the progression towards the end of the world.
Mhm.
So it's a little like creepy. I have another
Cool. As you're
art.
waiting for your TSA
You get to
pre-check,
see that your plane could be
falling from the
falling to the
sky.
ground. Another artwork that has raised eyebrows is a part of Alex Sweetman's Art Chronicles photograph series oh my god, documenting the construction of the airport. The premise sounds innocent enough, and although many of the photo murals capture serene scenes, a bison standing in a snowy meadow, a
Mhm.
field of vibrant yellow sunflowers reaching out to the sky, one photo of a field of dead browning sunflowers can leave some feeling a bit unsettled. It is another coded message about the looming apocalypse hidden in the airport's artwork, or is it just an ode to the changing of the seasons? And
I vote for apocalypse.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. I just don't want to think about that as I'm about
As
to
you're
get
boarding a
onto a
plane.
plane.
Yeah.
And then,
I mean, it is some in a weird way very fitting for an airport because they're like the opposite of Disney World. They are the least happiest places on earth.
yeah, you can never leave an airport in a good mood.
No.
Like, you're just
You're
never, it's
just
never going
like
to happen.
put your head down, get a Starbucks, and know you're going to be there for 3 hours.
So this one has me a little intrigued, and I'm going to try to read this right off of what I have because it's kind of in depth,
Mhm.
and I'm going to confuse myself if
I'm
I
ready.
don't.
Let me get my drink.
But it is about the secret societies that people believe created this airport.
Do
So,
they live there or they just created it?
created it. Well, some
Yes and no.
don't exist, and
Uh,
some do, and some come and visit their. Okay, I'll read
okay,
it.
I'll listen.
All right. So one of the most known legends about the airport was that it was built by members of a secret society. Which secret society? Well, that
Which
depends.
one?
That depends on who you ask.
Right
Freemasons.
here. Oh.
Freemasons.
Oh, right here.
Freemasons, one of the world's oldest secular fraternal organizations, dating back to the Stonemasons Lodge of the 14th century. The Illuminati, a short-lived
Mhm.
Enlightenment era secret society that some insist is still active. or the New World Order, an alleged cabal of global elites conspiring to overthrow existing governments and rule the world. Or perhaps all of the above, since the three groups are often said to be linked. The most persuasive
I
piece.
feel like we talked about that cabal before in one of our stories.
I don't know, but
It
I
sounds
think like
familiar.
all three of those we are going to need to do its own episode for. Maybe we'll have like a secret society episode or something like that.
Ooh.
Right?
Yeah. Or we
I think there's way too many secret societies to do it in one episode though. So
Oh yeah, we would have to do different
yeah.
each special.
So the most persuasive piece of evidence for this theory is a dedication capstone at the airport's south entrance dated March 19th, 1994. Sealed beneath the stone is a time capsule containing messages and memorabilia to the people of Colorado in 2094. The granite marker depicts the square and compass symbol as the Freemasons
Gasp.
and names of two grand lodges and their grand masters, all symbols of the Freemasonry and the Illuminati. Well, some believe in the theories airport officials say is only evidence of the generosity of the local Masonic lodges and crafted and laid the stone. After all, that's what stonemasons do. One popular theory is that the braille tablet above the dedication stone is actually a keypad, and then if touched the raised dots in the correct sequence, you will be able to open the time capsule. Even some
That'd be pretty cool. I hope that's true.
I don't think so, so don't hold your breath.
So wait, you said that the time capsule is being opened in 2094?
That's the date on it that, like, I guess they were giving the person, like, after they built it, they wanted it to be opened, like, 100 years later.
Okay.
So
I'm going to go over there and touch it.
Even some current Masons seem to buy into the myth. One airport employee says she's heard reports of Masons visiting the capstone and trying to swipe their Masonic membership cards near the time capsule just in case.
Well, I'm sorry, we don't have membership cards.
Okay, so debunked.
Debunked. I wish. That'd be cool.
Maybe your lodge is just not
we suck.
Californian enough. I don't know.
Californian? Aren't you doing
rich?
Oh.
Yeah. California's too inclusive for that. I just mean rich.
Maybe it's because my dues are past due. That's probably why.
That too.
That's why I can't get in
That
the secret
too.
society.
And another theory surrounding all of like the secret society stuff that I kind of thought was really interesting. Do I believe it? No. But is it interesting? Yes. There are writings on the floor. AUAG, and the inscription of the floor in the Great Hall is the abbreviation for a deadly toxin. Australia antigen, which is said to be the Illuminati's secret weapon for accomplishing genocide. In reality, AU and AG are
It's gold, right?
Are the atomic symbols for gold and silver. So it's supposed to be representing Colorado's mining history.
Sorry.
You good?
I just got a Charlie horse in my leg. Oh my god, that hurt so bad.
Do you need me to like?
No, I
smack it.
I'm okay. I don't know. I think I'm okay. I think I'm okay. Sorry, I tried I tried to readjust. Oops. I tried to readjust and I
ruined it.
I ruined it. Never mind. Just continue. I'll just sit here.
I'll just sit here in pain.
Yeah.
And then the capstones also makes mention of a group called the New World Airport Commission. Unlike the Freemasons, this group doesn't actually exist, making its inclusion a little tougher to explain. And as some like to point out, the name is suspiciously close to that of the so-called New World Order. And the time capsule, it's supposedly filled with coins and baseball from Coors Field, a pair of former Denver Mayor Wellington Webb sneakers, a nod to his famed sneaker campaign during which he campaigned door to door throughout the city. A few Black Hawk casino tickets and other memorabilia. We'll have to wait quite a few years to find out for sure, although some have already tried. Probably the Masons with their swipe cards.
They're just feeling up the braille.
Additionally, the airport building costs were more expensive than originally thought. Theorists believe that the money went to building the headquarters. Rumor has it they screwed up. the first few buildings, and instead of getting rid of them, they buried them and built on top of it, making it for one super cool secret society underground lair.
That's cool.
Do I believe any of that? Nope.
I mean, do I believe something went over budget? Of course.
Story of life.
1,000%.
But I do want to get into a conspiracy topic. It's going to be a lot of research on that one, but just the Illuminati in general. I know so many cool like theories regarding Illuminati.
Yeah, I follow them on TikTok too.
Oh my god, it's so interesting. It's one of the most interesting.
I follow the cat Illuminati on TikTok.
Did not know there was cat Illuminati.
It's just this guy who walks down various streets in this town.
I'm glad
cats come up to him.
I'm glad we started putting the disclaimer in front of our videos though, because I feel like that right there, naming all the celebrities, that's going to be the one to get us canceled.
Well, maybe. Well, let me get more comfortable.
Okay, get your comfortable.
Cocoon myself.
Let's see, what else do I want to cover? I did the airport, did the artwork, did the secret societies, did the Mustang. Oh, I did it all.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I didn't go into too depth too much. But
that was good. It was like a taste for when you deep dive.
But like I think there could be so much more with the different secret societies. First of all, the Lucifer thing is freaking weird. Like
I'm a big fan of Lucifer.
Go move to Denver.
No thanks. I'll take the statue though.
I think the fact that it killed its owner in the creation, like it's just weird.
It needed a sacrifice.
Wow. Yeah. The artwork is just creepy. Lucifer is my favorite, and then the secret society, definitely something we need to cover in more depth later on. There's also conspiracies that I saw where it is the hub for aliens. So because of New World Order and like all of the stuff that's written in the stones and stuff, it's like connections as in this is the new world, their aliens are coming here. And then like I said, we have
it's a good spot for them. It's an airport.
It's an airport. They can just travel in.
They just
come down on a plane.
Come down the runway. No one will know.
Yeah, they just have to build their ships to look like an airplane.
It's just a round disc.
And then, like I said, the Steven Spielberg's movie where it lists the coordinates that are literally 51 miles north of the airport.
Yeah, and you didn't even mention anything about the portal to hell.
There's underground tunnels. Well, it's all part of it. The secret societies, basically. But the underground tunnels, there's another conspiracy around that, and people say it's kind of on the same lines as a men over budget because they had a whole secret society built underground. But in reality, if you ask any airport employee, it's because they use golf carts to get from point A to point B without needing to drive
That's what I would have
down
said
the
too.
island. It's kind of like the same Disney World thing. Another one we got to cover.
Yeah.
But that was like some of the main ones that I wanted to cover.
When we'll get sued. Disney.
Yeah. Yeah. The Lucifer and then the artwork and stuff like that. It's just everything is so apocalyptic in that airport. Just really creepy.
That's really cool.
Well, that's all I have. I know that. I mean, we've kind of been recording a long time already. I did really like the last episode, how we ended with a quiz.
I don't have one.
I mean, I can easily find one, but I think we've already been recording too long. Maybe we'll start like
there'll be like little surprises.
Maybe we'll record a quiz and just add that on to our Patreon.
Okay.
Like that. See, if you want to see us do stupid quizzes,
we'll do it.
Are you a bougie bitch?
Yep.
Yes.
I just went to a bougie event, so yeah.
You did. Yeah, we didn't even talk about that.
We didn't even talk about it.
We had so much stuff going on lately that we run out of time.
That was fun.
I feel like our first 2 episodes were like 30 minutes. And now we're like, oh, fuck, it's an hour and a half already.
I know. I didn't even realize I've talked that long.
Well, that was a good recording. It is 8:20 right now.
Oh, there's still plenty of time to go to 814.
I was just going to say the same thing. Should we go to the bar?
Yeah, I'm hungry.
Okay. You don't tell me twice.
Okay. We're going to the bar. Bye. It's a Wednesday.
It is.
We're adults. Goodbye. Woo.
We did our first video recording.
We did. I'm scared to see what it looks like.
I know. I'm probably like,
I'm like, I don't know where to look.
The whole time you were over there reading, I didn't know if I should look at you or the camera.
I didn't know if I should look at the camera.
The same one. I know.
I'm just like, whatever.
It is what it is. Okay.
How'd it sound?
Babe, you're twisting. That means your beard's too long.
You already have a rat tail under
I
your
hate
chin.
that.
I thought it was good.
I know. I'm just worried to see what it looks like back.
Well.